Hello everyone and welcome to another custom showcase. But today I have two for you for one good reason. It's Henry. There's two different kinds of Henry. I mean, there's the old Henry and the newer shaped Henry. Get them both in shot. There we go. I mean, you gotta have both, in my opinion. So I'm sure you can tell this one is in better shape than this one. I won't deny it. This one I finished, I'd say 2 weeks ago. This one I finished, I want to say 9 months. Now mind you, he's on his first rebuild. This is the first attempt for an old Mark Henry. It's not terrible, but it needs some work. And this is Henry Mark III in his new shape, which I took a lot of time and work. I had to get many small details done in order to build it and get the boiler at a slope. If you look very closely, you can tell the boiler is sloping downwards. But I'll show that off in a bit. So I have both models here. Let's talk about the old shape Henry first, because he came first. So with this one, he's a little crooked if you looked. I'm gonna redo him. I'm gonna probably scrap everything except the smoke box and the wheels. But everything else will be redone. Maybe not the tender. So yeah, let's start with the tender. The tender was just simple balsa wood. Simple scrap wood. I just cut it to size. That's why it's so square looking. The wheels, they look a little off. See, here's a Percy. It's because these are the Chinese wheels. These wheels can pop off. I like working with them because with these wheels, they just pop off. And then you can pop them back on. And then pop them back off again. I would only recommend getting a Chinese model if you're gonna do customs with it, because I would not recommend it because it's probably lead paint and you should wear a mask if you sand that down, because you probably will get lead paint in your system, knowing that I probably did. But anyway, that's enough about me. With Henry, I just took a smoke box from a scrap Gordon I had laying around. I had some pieces. Just a simple small piece of wood right here for his dome. The funnel is too tall. I thought, hey, let's give it a tall funnel, but I'm like, now I'm not so happy. The wheels here are push-along wheels, taken from a push-along engine, as you know, taken from a Percy or Henry, I believe. The boiler is just round balsa wood. I bought already rounded because I like to use it. It's easier. The other Henry has the same type of wood for the boiler, but this, I mean, if you put them back side to side again, you can clearly tell that the new Henry is better because he's the newest one. And like this one was I think a 3-day project. Meanwhile, this one was a month, maybe 2, if I'm honest. He took a while. Yeah, but it's not my best work, but it's not the worst. I want to definitely redo him. Hopefully, maybe even soon. I might start Saturday redoing him. So, I mean, it's good for... Actually, it was more than 9 months. It was probably a year ago I built this. Yeah, I'd say it's been over a year. I mean, the more you work at it, the more you improve, so that's why. But yeah, so 1 year versus 2 weeks ago. You can see the effort and the visual difference. Now, people say, oh, Henry 1 and Henry 2 are different engines. No. You can think what you want, but for me, they're the same engine. Same face, same engine, same wheels, same engine. That's how it is. Now, with my old shape Henry, a lot of people do a 4.62 for their Henry, but I kind of like the idea of Henry being a 4.60 because in the book it says Henry is smaller than Gordon, but bigger than James. I'm pretty sure what they meant by that is he's a good amount smaller, not a few inches smaller than Gordon, because if they're both the same wheelbase and same shape, you can't get much smaller in size, if you know what I mean. But yeah, this Henry, he needs some work. That's enough about this bad one. That's enough of the one that everyone loves, because let's face the fact, as a community, we love Henry. This Henry, it was a little difficult to make, only because I wanted to get it right, because I love Henry. You gotta, if you love something, you gotta respect it to the fullest. So with Henry, I took 2 smoke boxes. I think I got this one from a James I was rebuilding into a different engine. Actually, never mind. Yeah, but this Henry right here. I took 2 smoke boxes. Hang on. Never mind, I was gonna look. Forget it. Anyways. Yeah, but with this 2 smoke boxes here, this is a piece of wood similar to the one in the old Henry. I think this one's just slightly bigger. Not a whole lot, though. This is just a small piece of wood I got from an old wooden train kit. I just cut it. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. So the regular running board ends here, but this right here is actually a popsicle stick. No, you can see the line cuts it off. That's a popsicle stick I sanded down, cut. It was very dangerous. I wouldn't recommend it. I almost took my finger off a few times, but still got all 10. Oh, wait, I got 8. No, I'm kidding. I got 10. Anyways. Yeah, with that, and then with the boiler, if you look, it's sloped. See, all I did for that was I cut down here. I took like the little corner off. If I can demonstrate with this piece of wood right here, let's pretend this is Henry's boiler. I took off just a tiny bit at this corner, and then a tiny bit at this corner. So when it went in, it could just simply rest without pushing against the smoke box too much. And then I used putty, clay, to fill in so you can't really tell. Same with the old Henry. I have the push-along wheels for the front bogies. I wanted to make Henry have, see his pistons. I'm forgetting the name, so I'm sorry. But make sure you can see all his rods. He does have the proper Railway Series tender because I wanted it to be not as accurate, but I wanted it to be accurate. And so I think it's pretty nice. I mean, this took me 2 months to build, I'd say. A month, maybe. I don't know exactly time myself, but this took a while. I just wanted to get it close. You can see I have no wheel arches here because I hate that on Henry's model because his wheels don't even go up to his buffer beam. Not his buffer beam, but his running board. So it's like, why do you have it if he doesn't need it? Like, I get it. I get it in the model series because they needed it for his old shape, and they're like, oh, we can't just remove it. which kind of stuck there. It's like, okay, it makes sense, but in the CGI series, they didn't. But, you know, I have my complaints like all of you with the CGI series and the direction they've headed now. And where they've ended up. But that's enough about me complaining. Yeah, but overall, I'd say Henry is probably one of my proudest models. Just because, like, he looks so good now. Like, I dare say he's one of my best looking models. And you put him side to side, the old model does the job of the old shape Henry. I guess the fact that he looks kind of crooked, a little rushed, actually makes sense considering he wasn't a good runner. But yeah, that's my 2 Henrys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time for Gordon.